our quality control to make sure your fridge is coming down to temperature and operating correctly. Right? The unit we use is one of these units. It's what they call a temperature logger. The fridge, we have considered it right, goes into our quality control bay. Now if you look at this fridge here, it started from a high temperature and it ran and it operated until it came down to its operating temperature, minus 25. So in other words, this must be a freezer. So it came down to minus 25. Now a freezer you want to operate at minus 18. So it switched off at minus 25. Okay, and then slowly the heat leaked away until it switched on again at minus 20. At minus 20, it switched on and the fridge, the compressor operated, and it pulled down again to minus 25. Problem is this fridge is working a little bit too cold. So we have to set this up, the thermostat a little bit warmer to bring it to minus 18. If we look at this one, for example, this is a fridge. There is 0 degrees, there is 5 degrees. A fridge you don't want operating at 0 degrees, not a domestic fridge. A fridge you want it operating above 0. This one will be operating at an average temperature of about 3. A little bit cold. A normal fridge you want operating at about 4 degrees. 4 degrees is nice. Okay, this is over an extended period of time, like 2 days or something. If you look carefully at the graph, you'll see the time. Okay, there it is, switching off, switching on, switching off, switching on, and so it's a cycle. This is what your fridge does all the time at home. With this fridge, yeah, in the morning sometime, just before we took the hoba out, the power went off, the fridge started warming up. Okay, then they said, oops, mistake, and they put the fridge on again, and there it started cycling again. And so we know that this fridge is working fine. Okay, now these graphs are for standard fridges. Okay. This graph here is for the more modern type of fridge. In other words, what we call the side-by-sides. But if you see here, we said, okay, fine, let's put it on, test it, we put it on, it pulled down to temperature, and it pulled down here to about minus 8, even, about minus 8 or so. Okay, and then it warmed up, and then it pulled down again, and then it warmed up, and then it settled in, and it started running. Okay, don't worry about this. This is just the electronics trying to settle in. Okay, the thermostat cycled on and off, on and off, on and off, until you come to this point. Now the modern fridges, the side-by-sides, have an ice buildup inside the fridge that has to get melted away. So what happens is, after a period of time, when the electronics say, okay, fine, it's now ready, the electronics switches off the compressor, switches off the fan, switches off everything, and brings on a set of heaters. The heaters will then heat up and melt the ice. For a short period of time, when the ice is gone, the electronics will say, start it up again, and it starts up again. And there it cycles again, and then the heaters take over again, and so the cycle will continue. We need to see these graphs to make sure everything is running fine. And then only we can release it and tell the customer, you can come pick up a fridge, or we can deliver the fridge, etc., etc., etc. But we need these graphs. You can't do these graphs at home. You can't do a pressure test at home. You can't do a quality control at home.